Yeah, I'm gonna talk about my new friend Dan Marino this whole episode.
We know.
My hot dogs are free. Come get them. All you can eat dogs. I brought him in a cellophane suit that I wore under this suit that I'm wearing.
Feels a little bit Nathan Fielder inspired, but hey, you know, chili at a hockey game, hot dogs at a Miami Dolphins game, I assume.
Why do you assume Dolphins?
Because you think that you're close friends with Dan Marino.
I have been hanging out with him a lot lately, and I can only hope that he would consider me a close friend because he has gotten quite close to my heart. His whole family, really.
I know, yeah, the Marinos, yeah.
Yeah, the Marinos. They live in Jupiter, Florida, or they have one of their homes there.
Yeah.
And that's where they've been spending a lot of time. He invited me to go golf. I'm going to golf with him and his wife, Tripsy.
Tripsy Marino.
They fell in love in college before the NFL money. That's how you know it's real.
Okay.
He's still got it a little bit, too. I was running slants for him the other day.
How'd that go?
I didn't drop a ball despite his velocity, bruising and breaking several of my fingers.
How do they look now? Yeah, he's still got it.
I saw a hyena eat another animal at the zoo today.
Today?
Yeah, broke into the penguin exhibit and shredded a few of them little penguins up. They had no chance.
Okay, I just have to ask a question. So far today, you've gone golfing with Dan Marino
Jupiter, Florida.
in Florida.
Yeah, the course is called Whispering Pines.
And then you went to the zoo and watched a hyena devour a bunch of penguins.
Yep.
And then you came here to film.
Yeah.
It is 1:49 p.m.
Eastern.
Yeah.
The zoo was on the West Coast.
The zoo was on the West Coast.
Yeah.
The golf game was in fucking Jupiter, Florida.
At Whispering Pines.
And
yeah.
then we filmed this in Detroit.
Whispering Pines actually had the female collegiate championship there last year. It's a good track. It's public, but they keep it very tight. It's nice.
I don't care about Whispering Pines.
The greens are super true. It's almost PGA level.
I don't give a shit. I'm trying to figure out your schedule. How does this work?
Dan birdied 3 of the first 4 holes. He was on a heater.
Yeah, I don't care about Dan.
And then he had a few too many beers and he got carried away and he said some things that he might end up regretting.
You know what?
What?
I didn't have anything against Dan Marino before this whole thing, but I really hope he dies. Like, I'm serious, and not because you're in the will or whatever you said. I don't give a shit about that. I just hope he dies,
You're
like,
just jealous.
soon, you know?
You're just jealous.
I'm not jealous of Dan Marino.
You could never birdie 3 of the first 4 holes at Whispering Pines. Hole 2 is like a 185-yard par 3 over the water. Do you even have a club for that? What are you gonna hit? Driver? I mean, Dan hit a 6-iron and he held back on it.
Call me a white rapper the way I sip a little Miller and get to mackin'.
While you're sleeping, I'm gonna fill your mouth with Q-tips.
The way you played pool last weekend, I think you need a few Q-tips.
We didn't play pool last weekend. I was at Dan Marino's house in Jupiter, Florida. His daughter Kelsey was home from college. She actually told me a lot about Brown University, where she's going. And no, it's not because the Marino family legacy. She's very bright.
Yeah, and Brown is across the street from RISD in Rhode Island.
A long way from Jupiter, Florida. You can understand how happy she was to be home with her loving and supporting parents.
Yeah.
And how lucky I was to be at that table.
Yeah, no.
With the family reunited after a while. Mrs. Marino is actually having a bit of empty nester syndrome. She's struggling to find hobbies or things to fill her time. She feels the void of her kids going away and growing up. And Dan only knows football. He's a very bad husband, but a good friend. Nice guy. I'm gonna start a 4 hat.
Okay, it just has a 4 on it?
No, it says like FORE. Me and Dan can wear it at Whispering Pines.
You've taken a lot of liberties in this game.
I know.
You didn't even guess one time.
Yep.
Now you're just deciding not to think and get it wrong.
I'm setting boundaries to protect myself from the brutal world that we live in. Because honestly, I think it's all gonna end very soon. And I'm not gonna spend my last days stressing out about the bullshit.
What are you going to spend your last days doing?
Fucking golfing, reading poetry, and hanging out with my new friend, Dan Marino.
I find it very hard to believe, but...
He's welcomed me into his life. Despite his major celebrity and tons of fans worldwide, he needed a buddy. I was there right when he needed him.
Lucky you.
Now, we're best pals.
Hey, good luck with your friend Dan. Wait till he sees this.
Let's go, Dolphins.
See what I'm saying?
All you do is associate him with his playing career. He's so much more than that.
Okay, whatever. I just think he might think that it's cool.
He finger paints with watercolors. Do you know how fucking hard that is?
No, that seems impossible.
Yeah, he's amazing. Kangaroo jack me off.
See, look what's happening.
Anaconda, more like, and I kind of wish I never went to Australia.
Let me guess. Next is gonna be like Outback Steakhouse and Bloomin' Onions or whatever.
It's actually funny you brought up Outback Steakhouse.
Why?
It's where we took Tambourine for his birthday.
Who's Tambourine? Don't tell me.
It's Dan's youngest child.
Tambourine Marino? Yeah. You're telling me Dan Marino has a son named Tambourine?
Yeah,
I'm supposed to
Tamborino.
believe that? For short. They call him Tamborino? Yeah, no.
It's a nice name.
You know what? Fuck you. I'm Googling this shit. Dan Marino.
Well, it's not gonna come up on Google, of course.
What
not.
do you mean? Holy shit, he's got 7 kids.
Yeah, I know.
We got Chloe Savitaire, Michael Joseph Marino, Daniel Charles Marino, Nikki Lynn Marino, Leah Marino, Joseph Donald Marino, and Tambourine Marino. What the hell?
And we went to Outback Steakhouse for his birthday.
I cannot believe what I'm saying. Tambourine Marino.
Tamburino.
What
It's not that weird, man. Famous
just-
people name their kids weird things all the time.
I know, it's just more like I didn't expect anything you said to be true because I thought this whole Dan Marino thing was a big farce.
No.
You've really been hanging out with Dan Marino?
Yes, you can say it's cool now.
It is pretty cool.
Yes.
Have you ever had even close to a perfect pair of pants?
I went swimming at Dan's house, and he loaned me a pair of old Wranglers.
I hate this. The Dan Marino thing. Is it still, it's Dan Marino? It's not another Dan?
It was Dan Marino.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
loaned me his old pair of Wranglers, and they hugged my body and caressed my thighs all the way down to my ankles. And for a moment, a brief moment, I found peace. And they were confiscated when I flew back home because they had trace amounts of cocaine and other nefarious drugs in the pockets. For that reason, I'm going with the Nobel Peace Prize.
How did you get there?
Because I've had the perfect pair of pants and I lost them. And I never want to experience pain like that again.
You know what they say? If you love something, let it go. I'm gonna go with the pants. We're going into the last one, okay? No more stories, no more Mark Cuban shark attacks, no more Dan Marino.
Stop.
No more new tree in Topeka, Kansas.
The Dan Marino thing's not a bit.
I don't care what's a bit and what's not.
He's the only person who's loved me for who I am.
You might be right. All right.
So you do believe me?
Let's give you this last one, Grant.
After hours of Il Molino, a Soto just talking women and vino. The contract like 90.
Dan Marino! Sorry, I just get excited.
Our other co-host, Dignan, he's good friends with Dan Marino.
Oh, he's told you about that?
He won't shut up about it, honestly.
I was gonna tell you, I'm so excited. Yeah, one of my close friends who works on this show sometimes. Yeah, he's recently become friends with. That's cool. He's sharing that with you.
I guess. It's annoying, I'll tell you that much.
If you started hanging out with Paul Abdul.
Oh, of American Idol, yeah.
Yeah, I
That'd
mean,
be sick. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, and you wouldn't stop talking about it.
I know, it's just that if I didn't start hanging out with Paula Abdul and just said I was, and then said a bunch of ridiculous stories about her, it would be annoying, right?
Are you implying something here?
It's not a super believable story that he is friends with former Miami Dolphins quarterback and NFL legend Dan Marino.
But we're all going over to his house this weekend for a cookout. If you want to come, so you can prove, I don't know what you need. Like, why are you doubting him? It's whatever, dude.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're getting too lost in this.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's pound cake?
It's easily pound cake. Yeah, one of the best beats of all time. Dan Marino does not know this man.